Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 million challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is the journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you an update from Nextbridge Hydrocarbons with regard to a new drilling agreement. We're also going to be looking at partial success from FOIA regarding MMTLP and also looking at ticker symbol PRZO. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first headline here, we can see the Wall Street markets are falling on the Middle East turmoil. We can also see the oil prices are rallying 5%. Brent has topped $90 a barrel, and there has also been news from the SEC regarding a boost to short selling transparency, which we have been asking for a long time. So let's give a shout out to Stock Market News, who have also stated in terms of a prediction for the market for the end of the year. They're saying Wall Street's biggest bull sees S&P rising 13% more by the year end. So that is with regard to the chief investment strategist from Oppenheimer. So hopefully that news is true. Let's now have a look at other news from Unusual Whales here, and they have shared information from another US congressman who's traded stocks before the start of the Middle East. So let me repeat that, before the start of the Middle East conflict. So he invested before that happened, and he bought RTX, weapons manufacturer, NEE, XOM, PXD, and also DVN. So it certainly seems to be a very, very clever individual there. Let's now have a look at the news with regard from the SEC. So shout out to their post, and they stated here that today the Commission adopted a rule to increase transparency and efficiency in a currently opaque securities lending market, closing data gaps by providing market participants with timely access to pricing and other material information about securities lending transactions. So from my opinion, I think this is something that has been long overdue, long called for. So let's have a look at the actual press release, and we can see here this dated October the 13th, 2023. They have stated here that they will require certain persons to report information about securities loans to a registered National Securities Association and require them to make publicly available certain information, and the rule is also intended to create transparency. So this is positive. I think this is putting a little bit more pressure on the hedge funds, a little bit more pressure on the short sellers, and that is what we needed. So shout out here to Michael, who stated hedge funds are now required to disclose their stocks they are shorting, and that is, in my opinion, potentially a game changer going forward. So before we look at the news from Nextbridge Hydrocarbons, I'm going to share a post that I posted earlier, and that was tagging in Finra, who stated here earlier today, what is short interest, what is not? What do you need to know about short interest data? We have the answers. So these are two questions I've asked them, and I do not expect an answer, but the questions are, should you be allowing short positions to go into a private company? And should broker dealers be fined for not closing out on behalf of short sellers to ensure short positions do not go into a private company as required by securities legislation? So no answer expected from Finra, because any answer provided by them I certainly believe would implicate them. Let's now move on to have a look at the news from Nextbridge Hydrocarbons, and what they posted earlier today is they have just entered into a participation agreement to fund the Johnson Prospect drilling program. So let's have a look at the press release. So this is dated 13th of October 2023. So they have announced that effective from October the 6th 2023, the agreement is to help with 25 separate participation agreements and this is looking at collectively funding the cost of drilling, which is approximately $7 million, and that is on the Johnson project, and we're looking at 5 wells in approximately 17,000 acre Johnson project in connection with the company's 2023 drilling program requirements under its University Lands Drilling and Development Unit agreement. So this is something they're doing to make sure they're in compliance with the lease, and it also states here each participation agreement provides for an initial allocation of working interest and net revenue interest among each participant and the company, and then a reallocation upon payout or payment to such participant of drilling and completion costs for each well drilled. Following payout, the company will own 25% of working interest as described below and 18.75% net interest in each well. So the response from Clifton Dupos here, he stated he's very, very pleased with this transaction, and it allows them to satisfy the 2023 drilling obligations by assigning only a portion of the 134,000 acres whilst retaining 25% back in interest on the assigned acreage. So Clifton is certainly very, very positive about this, and the emphasis on a small portion of the company's 134,000 acres. Let's now have a look at details of the partial FOIA success. So shout out here to Lightning Mills, who posted early, finally a partial response to our FOIA request. April the 18th, congressional meeting with Gary Gensler, only QFRs, questions for the record, not Gary's written testimony. So they seem to have omitted Gary's responses, but what they have added are the questions. So he believes that there are missing congressional members from the 72 pages. So 72 pages have been supplied, no mention of MMTLP in the data, but I do think we are missing some questions. Public information has been provided. There is a link there, so let's have a quick look at the letter. And in the letter, they've highlighted there which is dated October the 12th, 2023, under the Freedom of Information Act. The search for the responsive records has resulted in the retrieval of 72 pages of your records that may be responsive to your request. Then these are being provided to you with this letter. So I have had a look at those. There doesn't seem to be any information on MMTLP, and none of the responses from Gary Gensler have been provided. And I think one of the key reasons why they are ghosting everybody at the moment is possibly because of the investigation that they are looking at before releasing these. So it may be just a question of time. I finally like to finish off by having a look at ticker symbol PRZO. So this was one of the stocks that were called out this week in our weekly watch list, which was shared exclusively with the Discord members prior to trading on the Monday. And we did share information and a link about approval for drone flights in Australia. So PRZO, as you'll be able to see here, was also covered in 2 of my earlier videos. So let's now have a look at what's happened this week. So good news is today the stock was up in excess of 54.93%, closing at $3.30, also up 50% on the week. So congratulations to everybody who got in PRZO. So if you'd like to get the next weekly watch list with also access to our daily stock alerts, details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.